about the immigrant stereotypes, just because I have seen it, especially here where the TV industry is a little bit bigger than, well, it's much more worldwide. So, yeah, let's get started. The immigrant characters on TV often face a particular stereotype, being portrayed as the other. This identity is shaped by how the media is consistently presents immigrants in a negative light, or sometimes shaping like them in a negative way. Today, I'll explore how these stereotypes manifest across different societal attitudes. Understanding the immigrant stereotype. The immigrant stereotype is usually in TV shows either like some bad aspect or maybe a little bit uneducated or sometimes surface level, but it's usually a negative portrayal that they make them look sometimes inferior or people that are different, just making them seem either weird or unusual, taking them kind of as the other. These stereotypes are not just limited to individual characters, but it's more like a community, but it's still not like a character that you would see in TV. But once you see it, you know that this is the immigrant stereotype because they do pertain to a particular community. In this slide, we can see Sofia Vergara. She is a particular, I would say, kind of a stereotype and kind of not, because people usually take her as a stereotype just because of her accent or something like that, and then she falls between this negative portrayal of aspects that is usually like stereotype. But research by Rennie and Manzano suggests that television news and talk radio are especially influential in public attitudes about Latinos or any other immigrant, shaping how we perceive these groups. These portrayals tend to emphasize negative attributes, fostering stereotypes that affect how people view real immigrants in society. When the media consistently reinforces these portrayals, they can prime audiences to view immigrants as threats or problems rather than as individuals with diverse stories and experiences. So this is also another example of another stereotype. You can kind of see because of the background and then the physical attributes. And yeah, let's look at some popular shows that reflect these stereotypes. You can see in my slides that we have Apu, which of course it's a stereotype, as you can tell, especially because of the accent that is on the show. And then his character is often presented as like hardworking, but he reinforces that immigrants are always in like bad jobs or like kind of exhausting situations, especially with all like his kids running around everywhere, and then him trying to run the store at the same time, having no one to take care of his kids, things like that. Just I would say kind of form a general idea, even though it maybe wasn't the meaning to, it kind of is always like portrayed as this negative aspect. Torres and Galliano point out that these stereotypical portrayals in television contribute to negative stereotyping. Characters like Sophia Bursett from The Orange is the New Black are portrayed as the other, often decided as criminals or individuals with complicated pasts. We can see this image in my slide as well with Orange is the New Black. I have it in here. Right here. And these portrayals can make it harder for viewers to see immigrants like very differently, because as well, like sometimes especially in this age, we take media so for real, that we kind of forget that there's like a world and there's diversity out there, but it's constantly portraying immigrants in a low light. Okay. Aquines emphasizes that how stereotypes about immigrants, language, and economic status become deeply ingrained when despited frequently in the media. When TV shows only show immigrants as poor and uneducated or involved in crime, it can create unconscious bias that influences how people treat immigrants in real life. These representations shape how society views immigrants and impact public policies, leading to discrimination and prejudice. Okay. This also can be due to media, as we see, like, we can talk TV stereotypes, but then TV, especially today, TV's it's like much more than just what it was back then. Like, back then it was just entertainment, but now it's like, you know, you have basically a TV on your phone, a TV in your television, a TV in your car. Like, you just have social media and entertainment everywhere, so we're just constantly communicating things that maybe it's not the right way, or always portraying like this type of image always, all the time, when you're just putting media and entertainment out there. The real world effects of stereotyping is when society is more likely to view immigrants through a biased lens. The influence of TV stereotypes can shape policy, making it harder for immigrants to receive fair treatment, whether in the workplace, in education, or in legal matters. These negative stereotypes contribute to the challenges that immigrants usually face, often treated with the outside eye and an unfair judgment. Here we can see various images that have to do with it, kind of. Just things that you automatically see, and then you probably have known because you've probably seen before, but you can see how those aspects have been like contributed to them. For example, we have Fez from that 70s show. He's also always the weird one, and they never tell, like, in the show where he's from, but you know that he's an immigrant because he's always comparing like back home to America, and then how the differences between like being from there and then just being a foreigner in general. And then we have also here an example of how they also portray them like bad wage jobs, or your typical jobs that, you know, sometimes they just put them in. And we have the usual cast that is very famous in pop culture, especially, of, you know, immigrant or some type of generation of immigrants in TV, which really shaped what we call today, you know, our kind of like, for me, these were people I grew up watching, and I think they also had played a part in kind of shaping maybe the stereotype, but as well, like, it's a generalization, so I think it's everyone contributed to this. Yeah, and that's the end. These are the